Leafs talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. The Leafs lose 4-1. Hey, they didn't get shut out. Congrats to them.
Yeah. Boy.
Yeah.
This is getting late early, like you said a couple of shows ago. Honestly, I missed the last 4 minutes of the game because
I saw the Domi goal.
No, my poor wiener dog has to take a pee and a poo, and it's 3 feet of snow outside, and I had to shovel him a path, and I was out there trying to get him to do his business, and it was a nightmare out there. So
hey, guess what? I think the only people who saw the last 4 minutes were the people who were there.
It was more fun doing shoveling snow than watching the end of that hockey game. So I actually think, I don't usually start with a press box observation, but I actually think a perfect encapsulation of this weekend for the Toronto Maple Leafs is William Nylander flipping the birds to the broadcast camera.
I had almost the exact same note.
It's just like, you come out on home ice against your bitter rival, where the most anticipated regular season game of all time. You fall flat on your face. You have no jump. You have no jam for the whole first period. Captain doesn't speak, then comes out today and says he had a lot of fun during that game where your bitter rival came in and embarrassed you on home ice. And then in what can only be described as maybe the worst snowstorm I've seen living in Toronto for, 11 or 12 years, a great number of fans show up, and you get absolutely skated off the rink, completely outclassed, no jam, no nothing for 60 minutes. So you summed up the weekend perfectly, William, by flipping off the fans, because that's what the team did. It was the flip off weekend.
Hey, thanks for the money.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, what a perfect encapsulation for the young fans tonight who are all in attendance, because this is what you get.
This is the next gen game.
This is the next gen game.
Guess what you get next generation?
Yeah.
The same thing our generation.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, this is like, if you really want to show the next gen what it's all about, cheering for this team, you got it.
Oh my God.
I couldn't stop thinking in this game about how we're less than 2 weeks removed from the last time they played Colorado.
That feels like a year ago.
Yeah. Well, since then, I think they have 2 wins. So, maybe.
Yeah. No, one win.
No, 1 win. Yeah, just Winnipeg.
They beat Winnipeg, and when it could have been not a win, they needed a miraculous third period comeback. Like they were close to losing that one too. So,
but just like the vibe of the game against Colorado, where you're looking at them and saying, "Hey, they're playing with some connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
They got William Nylander back in the lineup. They're playing with urgency. They're playing for one another. They're starting on time. They're finishing games with like a real." You just listen, man. We'll look back on this if this is the way the season goes, as that was the fake comeback stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But they did play with an energy, and they did play line to line. That was what was so fun about it, is it didn't really feel fluky that they beat the Colorado Avalanche. And then you watch tonight's game, and to your point about giving the middle finger to the fans, to me, the craziest part about this is you started flat against the Vegas Golden Knights, and your coach emphasized it for the entirety of the last 2 days of got to start this game on time. Gave the team a day off on Saturday.
Insane.
No practice.
Insane.
Said, hey, not going to embarrass you, not going to bag skate you. Why would I be tough on you? Hey, it's chilly outside. Just stay in your beds. And the way they reward their coach for giving them the day off and knowing that they got to start on time. And I don't want to hear it about the start time. Like, look like Colorado started on time. It's even earlier for them with their body clocks. So the idea that you couldn't get up for this thing, and what were the shots? Hold on a second. The shots in the first period, I believe,
I saw
were
them at
19.
21. I saw 21-9 at one point.
They were 18-6 in the first period.
Yeah.
Like you just ended the game immediately. And listen, I need a save from Joel Woll on the first one, but the pass by McCabe is just like,
no, they're just like,
you're not invested. You're not dialed in.
I think the way that I don't think they're very good. Okay. Like, I think there's a serious lack of talent up and down the lineup, and they're leaning on some D-men for way too much that they should, but you can at least have a look about you that you're invested. That like, I got to be honest. I'm watching this game and I'm watching these guys play, And there's a couple good shifts mixed in here and there. They try to put the blender or whatever.
How many though? Honestly, tonight
5 to 6.
Yeah, like I liked it. I wrote down I liked a couple of Tavares shifts.
Near 10 shifts, maybe. I don't know how many shifts is in total, but there's probably like I'm setting the over under at 9.5, and I'm leaning under. Let's just say that.
That's what I mean. It wasn't even like they had real moments where they started to control the play.
And it honestly felt to me like a bunch of guys that looked at the standings this morning and saw the second wild card spot be what? Are they 5 points back now in the final wild card spot?
Mm-hmm.
And there was just some going through. Oh, nice. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Crack staff here. Yeah. 5. There were 2 teams in between them. It just felt like some going through the motions tonight. And they just kind of are reserved to their fate. And they're just trying to get to this break so they can get to the beach. That's just what it feels like to me. It feels like an older team that knows they're kind of cooked. And they just know there's a big, long break coming up. And they're trying their best just to get to it healthy. That's what it looked like to me.
I don't disagree. I don't think
there's no physicality. Nobody I saw one hit tonight. And it was Nyes on a guy towards the end of the I don't know when it was, maybe the end of the third period, start of the third period, buried a guy into the boards. And I think that was the only hit a good hit that I saw somebody throw. There's a reserved sort of to their fate look to them today that I haven't seen. Like at least in the Vegas game where we hated, they had their fate come back where they pushed and they tried. And today it wasn't even close.
No, like I said, there was no moment in the game. I wrote down a couple, Lawton did his thing on the penalty kill again, where he was dangerous. I thought Tavares came out early and tried to lead them with some tough shifts, but he faded as the game went on. And he's not a driver of a team anymore at this point of his career. It's just not who he is.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to play and the team's not going to follow him. And he just doesn't have the juice to create it on his own. And I just thought another night where you're looking at a lot of the other forwards and they feel like passengers. I didn't really feel Matthews' presence tonight. He did have the one stop late that Blackwood makes with the glove where he had the opportunity to score, but that feeling of Matthews, but that's what I mean. The feeling of Matthews being this unbelievably dangerous guy that we were feeling even a week ago has started to dissipate over these last 2 games.
But the thing is though, bud, in years past, you had 2 lines.
Yeah.
Right? Where you had Marner and Tavares that would play together, or you would have not Nylander and Tavares that would play together. And you'd have Matthews where if he went through a 2 or 3 game sort of break,
there's more talent to pick him up.
You had people to pick him up, but he has 2 bad games in a row here and they get skated off. Yeah. It's like when Matthews doesn't shoot the puck in the net, it feels like they don't really have a chance.
Yeah, but this is what I said to you the other day. I talked to you about this the other day, that the offense was trending more back to, like we need Matthews over the boards. Otherwise, nothing really spectacular is going to happen. And now it's starting to catch up with them. I think there's something to what you're saying about, I don't like to use the injury stuff as excuses because
everyone's banged up. They don't have Taves or Landeskog.
No, and not even just that. You look at around the league, the Leafs with man games lost to injury, salary lost to injury. They're not at the very top. Tampa's at the precipice of the division, or they're the best team. Maybe they're definitely the best team in the East, and they're doing it with also no blue line. Yeah. So the idea that Toronto couldn't do it is a little frustrating. So I'm not dismissing it, but I just think to a certain degree they got by on this. I'm trying to find the word here for it. They got by on basically good vibes of a couple of weeks, where everybody started to feel like they were more important. And then as that went on, you started to see the cracks sort of show up. And to me, you said that you feel like it's a standings issue. I don't think that. I have a hard time believing that most of those guys at this point of their careers are doing hardcore standings watch at this point of the season.
Maybe not. Maybe they just know.
Yeah, I think they know. Well, I had some people telling me that Detroit was treating that game like openly talking about Dylan Larkin, how this was a big 2 points for them in the standings and that they wanted to be able to go up 8 points or 10 points on the Leafs. Yeah. They acknowledge it because there's accountability in their group.
Yeah. You're allowed to say that a game's important there.
Yeah. Here there's with this group and with this leadership core, the way that they treat this stuff, and we mentioned it on the last show, how they did this whole thing of it's just another game, it's just another game. They hate any external pressure.
Hate it.
And that's why I felt like I didn't know if it was standings. Maybe you're right. Probably it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually I felt like there was a poutiness to their game. Like, everyone was so mean. Everyone was so mad that we didn't win. Our coach wants us to start on time, and we're just not.
Berube in the dressing room's like, you want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah.
Like, every time they flash the camera to him, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
I still can't believe he didn't explain what exactly happened. It's such a perplexing move to just say gym accident and leave it out there for the people to guess. But he has to burn that timeout early, right? After they go down 2-0.
What a timeout it was.
Well, I was going to say,
lit a fire under them. Came out flying.
But can we roll that back? Can we just look at the body language?
Yeah, definitely.
Roll that back.
Slumped.
Nobody's talking.
Slumped.
Nobody's banging sticks.
No.
Nobody's yelling. Nobody's doing give me something. Are there two guys even exchanging words here? There's Lawton's kind of talking. Yeah, he's talking like a little. Yeah. Nobody else is saying anything. They're just looking down at their skates. They're looking down at their feet. They were resigned when they came out tonight. And I got to say that, this has been a really brutal stretch. Again, only one win since that Colorado game. Everyone gave him a pass for the Mammoth. Everyone was really excited about the comeback against the Jets. There was a little bit of, hey, first home game back.
Yeah.
When they got dominated. But now it just feels like all the positive momentum that they built is drained away. And they're back to, I think that this stretch is worse almost than the stuff that we were seeing earlier in the year.
I think this stretch is worse because you have a taste of what it looked like when it was good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think this stretch of hockey was always the worry. I don't know if it was on here. Was it on here? I said it, or on Kipper and Borney? I said it, but I was looking at this Colorado game and I said, everybody wanted me to say that the Leafs were back. Mm-hmm. And I think it was here. And I said that if they are in a playoff spot after that Avalanche game, fully back, and now they're 5 points out of it. So I think it's teetering here on getting really bad.
Oh man. I really do think if they lose to Buffalo on Tuesday night, you're 8 points back of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
You're maybe still 6 back of Montreal for the first wild card spot, but you're 5 back today of Boston, who I think their next game is against Tampa.
Yeah.
So maybe they lose that one, but let's just say you lose that game and you're still 5 points back. To me, that means you're kind of playing for one wild card spot.
Yep.
And you're playing for that one wild card spot
with
Florida, Philly, Boston. Yeah. It's just hard to envision that all of a sudden they do. I really think that there's potential for an older team to get the break and show up in the second half.
Get a little hot.
Yeah, get a little hot. But
Yep.
if you're 6-7 points out of it by the break, which is absolutely on the table right now, I don't know, man. It just feels like this is a potentially cook the season stretch here, and it really does culminate with the Buffalo game.
Yeah, 100%. It really. Oh boy. So, do you have any more on the ice stuff? I had more of a bigger picture thought about something.
I was gonna say that the Wool part of it is the first goal I can't stand. Again, McCabe is the most egregious of them all in terms of the play.
He was feeling himself. Pirouette, and he's like, time for a bazooka.
Cross ice
to no one.
Well, what is anybody doing with that is
Nothing.
the question.
Yeah.
What's the hope out of that play? At least sometimes the guy skating in stride, you're hoping that he breaks him out, but
no,
you're firing that to a flat-footed guy who is going to turn that over. That maybe it doesn't end up happening quite that way. All the Leafs are flying up the ice. He ends up being the only guy back, but the pass doesn't go across the ice. And Wool, I'm sorry, you got to have that one, man.
Would have liked it a lot.
Yeah, so I thought Wool battled later in this game. That he made a couple of big saves, one on the penalty kill where I think it was Nikushkin on the doorstep, just hammering away at one, made a couple of other stops that sort of kept the Leafs hanging around with that feeling of, hey, they got in the break down only 2-0. And you're still hanging around, and it wasn't 3-0 for quite some time. But I just think in a game like this, where your team does look flat, you've got to make a save on a muffin like that, because I just think it's whatever hope you had. The only hope they basically had to me in this game was Wool came out early, was nasty, bought them time to find their legs, which he shouldn't have to, right? Like that's not supposed to be the formula, but you got to make that safe. Sorry, you got to.
I totally agree. And look at how they beat Colorado the last time.
Yeah.
It was the first 10 minutes of that game. He was spectacular. Yeah. And kept them in it while the Leafs found their legs. And that's the same recipe that you're going to beat any elite team. You're going to need your goalie to have a hot start and to not fall down early. Because when the Avalanche are playing with a lead, it's impossible. They have the puck the whole game. And then especially when you can't break the puck out, like Leafs can't break the puck out. I mean, I don't know if there's a Borny stat or a fancy stat, like completed breakout passes this year. Leafs have to be bottom of the league. They do not complete breakout passes. It's like throwing it off a trampoline at the blue line. It just comes straight back. It's crazy.
So it's a lot of grenades. My only other thing in terms of the game, because really there's a huge portion of this that just does not matter.
Yeah.
Is one, I can't believe how non-threatening Colorado's power play feels.
It's insane. We talked about it the last show. It's all the best players in the world are on it and they can't complete a pass. It feels like,
it's eye test wise. I didn't even feel like really the Leafs were doing anything special. It was the same thing what we've talked about with the Leafs power play, where you go, what are you trying to get to?
Yeah.
Like what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And it's weird that they look lost, but from the Leafs standpoint, power play now sitting, I think, at 25th or 26th on the season. And
it reeks again.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe he wasn't all savvy. Turns out that that the only winner in this right now is Mark Savard, who's looking at it going, all right, maybe it wasn't all my fault, because power play's back to feeling completely non-threatening and a lot of perimeter stuff. Every time, as soon as they lose an opening draw, you go, well, that's that.
Yep, that's it. Cleared it.
Yeah, first clear. That's all done. And now it's just you. What did you say? He's been emboldened with Machelli.
Oh yeah, Machelli's Mister. He's emboldened.
Yeah. Who also got stoned in a disgusting fashion this game.
He did.
Yeah. Little tiny side note. What a heartbreaking loss of a shutout for Blackwood, where a teammate takes a stupid penalty at the very end of the game and gives one up. He did make some really beautiful saves, including this one, Machelli. But even the stuff with Machelli on the power play now feels like, all right,
it's bad again.
Yeah. He holds it too long, and he's not, like, it's the same thing. Guys holding it too long, and there's one guy that feels like a threat, and it's Matthews. And today, 44 misses him with a pass, and he has to go back and cradle it. I don't know if you remember that moment of the game, but just ugly. Power play's ugly.
My only theory, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that's had this theory, but my only theory with the Colorado thing is just like they're not a half court offense.
Yeah,
right?
no, I had the same theory.
They're a fast break team, and it's like you get them in the half court and they're not nearly as smooth. So I don't know. So you mentioned Boston in your preamble there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now Boston's ahead of the Leafs. Like, it's just all these new horrors where I think Fraser Minton would be 5th on the Leafs in scoring this year. He has more goals than Nyes.
Scored a game winner game tying goal last night.
Like, it's just like every horrific thing that can happen to the Leafs is happening right this moment. Mm-hmm. But, watching Brock Nelson got me thinking. He had a hat trick today. I thought he was brilliant the whole game. And, he's got an elite America face. Like, he's in the Scotty Scheffler Hall of Fame of America faces. Like, it's unbelievable. But you can trade your top prospects and picks at the deadline and have it work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they traded that Richie that everybody loved, the end of first round pick to get this guy. And people were stunned that they gave up that much, right? And it was a slow start with him there, and people were making fun of them for that trade.
Well, they had to re-sign him, and they gave him a contract.
And then they ended up re-signing him, a real contract, and he's excellent. And he's on the American Olympic team. He deserves to be there. He fires the puck. He skates. He fits in perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you were allowed to trade the prospects at last year's deadline, and they obviously had to get a D-man, clearly, because they weren't going to have Phil Myers as their top right-handed shot defenseman at the deadline. Like, people forget how decimated the D-core was last year at the deadline. But, like, they really panicked and, like, gave up way too much. Like, it was at the last moment that they got Carlo. Remember? We were doing that deadline trade, and we're like, they're really not going to get a D-man. And they waited to the literal last minute, and they gave up Fraser Minton and a first that's only top 5 protected, and you got Brandon Carlo. And, like, you're just watching this Leafs team be so devout of young talent. It got me thinking about it big time watching Nelson play.
Yeah,
it's a bad screw up, man. It's a bad screw up.
For me, it's two things. One is when you're in a market like this and you make a trade like that, it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the player who's coming in.
100%.
And for Carlo, his game is not
the most kind of game
guy.
Possible.
Yeah,
it's not flashy.
He's not the kind of guy who comes in for a first round pick and one of your top prospects and makes you feel like, okay, cool. At least you get to watch this guy every night.
Yeah,
it's just not a thing. But two is, I understand it takes two teams to make a trade, right? And they tried to go get Rasmus Andersson. And well, I'm just saying that
Tree's on the phone with Calgary right now. He's like, "Can you give me Naz?"
Yeah,
he only has Calgary's number in his phone.
Yeah, but he did try to make that deal, right? Yeah. So that was his first move. And it's just a reminder that these GMs, when they can't make the first move, the second one is often like you're settling, man.
Yeah,
you're settling out of desperation, and sometimes you just have to do the thing where you hold on to the assets and know that there wasn't a trade for you and explain it that way, because they would have given up those same pieces for Rasmus Andersson. He would have been a better fit for what they needed for these 2 years than Brandon Carlo was. Like, there's just no doubt about it. But it doesn't happen, and you make the pivot trade. And listen, it would have been a disaster either way, trading Nazem Kadri, but the same thing happened with that deal. Like, when you think about the disastrous trades for the Leafs of the last decade, Kadri is the other one, because this one's now trending in that potential. And they tried to make same thing, a deal with Calgary. It didn't work out. They pivoted to Colorado, and they ended up getting Barry and Alex Kerfoot, and neither of them had really any impact on winning. In fact, the most famous play for either of them as a Maple Leaf is Kerfoot taking that penalty 200 feet from his own net against Tampa Bay.
No, he had a good moment. He had a tip in overtime.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Do you think about that more than the penalty?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
If I think about his time here, I think about was that to go up 3-1? I think it was. Because they had the big comeback, and then Riley scored in overtime in one of the games, and then the second overtime game, Kerfoot, Giordano shot from the right boards, tip in.
All right. Well,
so that was a good memory.
Sure.
So they traded your whole future. You should have been a lifelong Leaf for one tip in. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But I knew I defended the trade at the time. I don't think I was like all in on it, but it was a trade they had to make. They were in a contention window, but Tree got it wrong. It's a mistake. And I don't hate the Lawton one. Both of you are on the side of the Lawton one being fine. Like, Grabankin's not what Minton is, and Lawton is like a heart and soul guy on a team that's good. So that one you can live with. The Carlo one you cannot live with. And the 6th overall pick that they get with that pick is going to turn into a Canadian D boy who plays 15 years for the Boston Bruins, is just like a stud for them. That's going to be fun too for the rest of our lives.
Totally. All right.
Sorry.
Else?
One last thing.
Yeah.
Blackwood maybe should have got a look for Team Canada.
Yeah.
I've watched the Avs a lot this year because clearly they're fabulously fun to watch and they have a lot of sick Canadians. I wonder what the justification for not taking him is in a really, really poor depth position for Canada.
I can't even remember off the top of my head. Who's the third goalie?
It's It's Thompson, Binnington, and Kemper.
Right. Well, I don't know. Kemper's had a pretty good couple of years. Anyway, I just think it's one of those things where if you got a third goalie that matters, you got none. So
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, like
it's just going to be Binnington game one, so we all just have to hold on to our butts.
You're right. Can Binnington or Thompson get hot? If they got to use the third guy, you're dead. So
you're
to me, it's one of those conversations that we're having because what's up top is brutal. Like, I don't remember anybody really caring if it was Marty Turco going.
When we have Luongo and Verdure, it just never mattered.
It was just
Quebec get on it. Like you had one job, Quebec.
Yeah,
come on. Yeah, make us the goalie again. What's going on?
Quebec's struggling, man. You look at their guys. They got no Olympian.
They don't have an Olympian?
No.
Wow.
Who's their Olympian?
I'm just trying to think through the team quickly.
No,
Point isn't from Quebec?
No, I know. And I think that their top scoring, like the French Canadian, is
no, he was the Western guy.
Yeah, their top scoring guy, I think, is Lafreniere and Huberdeau. And it's like Roy is actually on the list of the top guys. Like, I think he's 5th.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
Well, just make a goalie. We won't even care about it.
Yeah, make a goalie and it's fine. Yeah.
Mantha loses.
Yes. Yeah. Make
That's
a
what we're
goalie.
doing?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Braden Point was that was a tough one
that's-
for me.
yeah,
It's
I
the
was like,
snowstorm.
Braden
Snowstorm
Point,
got to me.
like, yeah.
I'm
Braden Point.
listen, I am claiming
Yeah.
snowstorm brain.
Yeah, all right.
It's snowstorm brain. But other than
Yeah,
that,
all
I
right.
got nothing else. I'm
All
good.
right, yeah, let's get out of here. All right, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee. Reach out anytime. I'm back tomorrow on my show. You're on Kipper and Bourne.
Yeah.
We'll trudge through the snow.
Mhm.
Sorry to everybody who did that today, who like grinded it out there,
Yeah,
went down
good
there
for you.
and risked it to go watch that hockey team play.
'Cause it's legit
that way.
bad out there.
Yeah,
it's
is.
legit
It's
bad.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
you'd want to think that if it's just there's nothing more evident after these last two games of how little these players and this team cares about the fans.
Yeah.
They just do not. Show up, be quiet, root them on, be nice, give us your money, and don't say a thing. That's what we want from you. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs way. All right. We'll see you on Tuesday night.